Hey everybody, it's the Coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll get a chance to see Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings as they take on Dak Prescott and the defending NFC East champs, the Dallas Cowboys. So with that, let's head over to the heart of Texas. Massive AT&T Stadium in Arlington. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction of the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. From up top next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, folks, we were already excited for this game. And then before the contest, you and I are down on the field outside the white lines.
Yes, we were following the rules.
We were following the rules, and a ball comes over our direction, but we can't see it. Somebody yells heads up, and instinctively you turn around and you snare it one-handed with your off left hand. So now we're really ready for football.
No gloves either.
No gloves.
No gloves. Not like what the guys are wearing playing the game now. But wasn't that a whole lot better than that time we were down there? And I got the coffee spilled on me when I got nailed by the punt returner.
That happened to the Vikings, right?
Yes, a much better job of being heads up this time. Thank you for the notice.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Kirk Cousins bringing out the Minnesota Vikings on a 2-game win streak right now at 4-2 through 6 weeks of the NFL season. And Kirk Cousins, just like the team, coming to life the last couple of weeks. Remember, he only attempted 10 passes in their opener, but he had it work in Week 6 against the Eagles.
So aggressive, throwing the football downfield, and the offense of Minnesota aggressive in everything they did. We saw misdirection plays. We saw some power running plays. We saw everything from them. Kirk Cousins, 22 of 29, 333 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception that wasn't his fault, went off the hands of Stephon Diggs. Just his second 4-touchdown game as a member of the Vikings. And the criticism that's been out there, he's muting it in a big way.
And Cousins' passer rating, 108.4 right now. That is third best in the NFL.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Cousins gives way to Cook. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit, because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. First down, here's Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And running back Dalvin Cook was drafted in 2017 to be the lead runner for the Vikings, and he should love what they're putting in for him in 2019. This is a run-first, run-heavy offense as dictated by their head coach. Dalvin Cook should get more than enough carries to threaten 1,000 yards rushing this season.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 30.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. They'll throw again. Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. And now the defense for Dallas.
Sean Lee's one of my favorite players, and I don't mind saying it because I love his versatility. I can move him inside at the linebacker position. I can move him outside. I can rush him off the edge, rush him up the middle. He can drop into pass coverage. In fact, his versatility was on display even in his high school days, where he was a big-time high school basketball player that had a chance to play in college as well.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. To the air again, it's Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, it has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
They'll run with Cook. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cowboys offense takes the field under the guidance of Dak Prescott, and it is just amazing how fortunes can change quickly in the NFL. You know, for Dak Prescott, free agent may even be a literal fortune. He was on top of the world after the Cowboys' 3-0 start, but since then, Charles, 3 straight losses.
And remember, they started the season with a schedule that seems to be favorable as we look at it now, right? I mean, open up the season beating up on the Giants. Then they went to Washington and beat up on the team in D.C. And then the Miami Dolphins at home. Dominated them, destroyed them. And then things toughened up a little bit, including a home loss against Green Bay. So I think Dak Prescott has continued to play well, but it's hard to maintain that hot start that he was on to begin the year.
Well, against the Jets, Week 6, he got the Cowboys to within 2 late, but couldn't find Jason Witten in the end zone for what could have tied the game in the final minutes on a 2-point conversion.
I think the big question for Dallas, how did they find themselves in a position Then they needed a late touchdown and two-point conversion to tie the New York Jets.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Ben Gideon leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep is a very dangerous Mike Hughes. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Vikings offense trots back out. And as they get this next possession going, CD, you had their game week 6 against Philly. Now they're at 4-2. What do you make of this team?
We're finally seeing the Vikings we expected to see. They're putting it together on both sides of the ball because the defense has been pretty well a constant throughout the season. But now the offense has really joined them. It's not just Dalvin Cook running the football. Kirk Cousins can sting people downfield with Adam Thielen, with Stephon Diggs. They even got Kyle Rudolph involved in this game at tight end. So this is a team now that's playing with a lot of confidence, and they will be dangerous as the season rolls on.
And Diggs was dangerous. What, do you have 3 touchdowns that game?
3 touchdowns, and the best part was after the game in his post-game interview, after a monster game for him, he said, yeah, but I dropped 2. So he's looking to improve.
How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has 0 answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Cousins now. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
As the field starts to get condensed, the defense likes that a lot because now you don't have as much space to cover, but a well-run corner route there.
They'll run on 1st down. Cook. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? With the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. He showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And on third down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Well, they have to be loving this start to the first quarter.
Well, the way that they're going, I mean, you're talking about 2 touchdown drives already. They feel very confident and feel like they have all the answers in this game. They're 1 point away from going up 14-0. Maybe they press the advantage and go for 2.
Bailey now for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. That time a 6-play drive, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Cowboys taking the field again here offensively. And speaking of Dallas, we discussed their Week 6 loss to the Jets earlier. That's a head-scratcher. Even though it's on the road, nobody saw them losing that. And now all of a sudden they're at 3-3.
And when you look for positives, that's what you just hit on. They're 3-3 and still tied for first in their division with Philadelphia. And if you really want to make things go away, at least for a little while, beat Philadelphia, take over first place by yourself. Oh, by the way, they play Sunday night in in Arlington, Texas. That's a big ball game for them, a big ball game for Philly. And the bottom line is, if you win your division, no matter what the record, you go to the playoffs.
They'll roll him out right. Now he'll pull it down. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. It gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Right there.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 44 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Able to push his way through. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Harrison Smith's play has been so good in the NFL that he demands the respect of everyone. And I remember a couple of years ago when we talked about the top safeties, his name didn't come up in the first group. It does now. I remember doing a game a couple of years ago where the Rams were trying a lot of razzle-dazzle stuff. And Mike Zimmer, his head coach, pretty much said, sick him to Harrison Smith, and he ended that in a hurry. He can play close to the line of scrimmage, can also cover deep.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Here's Kirk Cousins now, the centerpiece of our player spotlight. Now, they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love? 4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big, big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Running for the first time with a fullback, C.J. Ham. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Jalen Smith, who took a huge step forward last year, in on the tackle for Dallas. On the carry, it's Cook. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Out of his end zone, Cousins. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down. A pretty sizable deficit here in the 1st quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another 1st down, almost back to the drawing board.
So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. 12 yards there, 1st down, Vikings. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the 1st half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
On 1st down, it's Cook. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him early but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well.
Switch up.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Right there. 54 mark. Let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And Diggs has it. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings. And for Stephon Diggs, you know, people were wondering if his future in Minnesota might be a little uncertain, but he looked right at home in Week 6 against the Eagles. 167 yards, 3 touchdowns in that ball game. He was huge. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the 2nd foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
Cousins pass. Complete to Adam Thielen. A gain on the play.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take
And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
The previous play is under review. After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Extra point try by Bailey. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. That time, a 9-play drive, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And now he'll tuck it and run. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
There we go. Go right in. Mike 54. It's been a long day for you. Watch Twitch. 26.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. From just shy of midfield, Prescott got an open man. It's Michael Gallup, and he'll get it down here to the 43. That one, a first down pickup of 8. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Looking to throw. Prescott connects here with the tight end, Blake Jarwin. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Come on, baby. I'm coming, baby.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. Mackenzie Alexander in on the tackle. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
At the Vikings' 28-yard line.
Here we go. Go right in. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go.
They'll try the right side with Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
Mike 54. All day, baby. All day.
They'll run on first down. It's Elliott fighting through. A gain of 3, second down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. On second down, it's Pollard. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on third down. Prescott from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
A 34-yard attempt.
The kick by Maher is good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move. The Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
After the made field goal, Maher back out there to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Adam Thielen and the rest of the Vikings offense, they get set for their next possession, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Vikings on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. To throw, Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Back deep for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Rolling to his right. And he's going to keep it here. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Mike's 4, Mike's 5-4. I got wide.
Pushing his way inside the 40. With Cole Beasley now in Buffalo, you think that might open up some more targets for Michael Gallup. Last year as a rookie, 33 catches for the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Right there.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Drop deep, drop deep.
On the counter, Elliott. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. To throw is Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 28.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Here we go. Mike 5-4. Got to do better. Come on, QB, come on.
On 1st down, it's Elliott. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They'll run with Elliott. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Back-to-back running plays, putting them in negative territory. What can they do coming up on 3rd and 15? Here's Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. The kick by Marr is good. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like that one?
Come on. What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
After the made field goal, Marr back out there to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership, by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. A quick throw taken in by Diggs. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
54 Mike. I got one.
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Coming to you.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Pick it up.
They'll run on 1st down. Elliott. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Mike 54. I'm coming.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The Cowboys on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Prescott. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
In your face.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him playing very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On first down, Cook. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And down he'll go at the 25. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
First down, Vikings.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Cousins now to throw on first down. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A first down throw for Cousins. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. What's that?
Final play of the half, Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs.
I'm going to hit you all.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this third quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're
is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Got an open man, the tight end, Jarwin. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Now Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Let's go. Check 52.
From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Eric Kendricks, the Vikings' leading tackler a season ago, in on the stop. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one because he's paying off his results downfield.
And still more time here, third quarter. We'll see what else he has in store for us. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. Cook stripped, the ball's out. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. So hold the phone here, Charles. I've kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
And now Jason Garrett electing for his guys to try for 2. Prescott now after the fumble recovery. And he's going to get in for the score. And the lead now cut to 14. And, boy, things switched on a dime here. The fumble recovery for the touchdown and also a 2-point try on top successful.
That feels like a momentum call. Pick it up on a fumble return, take it the other way for a touchdown. That's demoralizing for a team to have it happen against them. So the offense just says, you know something? Let's add to it. Pile on top, go for 2 now while their heads are down.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out, looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're right back out there after watching the fumble go the other way. Still in control of this game, but that needs to serve as a wake-up call because they're not in the clear yet.
No, the message should be clear that fortunes can change pretty quickly when you turn the ball over. You've got to take care of it, otherwise that lead could slip away quickly.
And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. But now it's 3rd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Here's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they're going to go with the jet sweep. This is Diggs with it. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Check.
On play action, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. They go play action. Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So they are going to call on Dan Bailey here. His career long is 56 yards done in Seattle. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this won't get there, won't be on line either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over this one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing again on second down. Prescott. He's going to look end zone here for Cooper. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Prescott. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And he hits Jason Witten, the tight end. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. Boy, you got to think that having the 37-year-old veteran Jason Witten back at tight end is going to be great for Dak Prescott for plays just like that. And you think to last year when Witten wasn't there, it was kind of a rotating carousel. They had Blake Jarwin, Jeff Swaim, Rico Gathers, Dalton Schultz. But Witten back out there and doing his thing again. Prescott now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Caught by Cobb. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Prescott now. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
One man in the backfield, that's Elliott on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Got to figure this is one they need here on 3rd and goal. Prescott from the gun. He can run, and he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. A 5-yard touchdown run as his guys are back within a single score. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Brett Maher on for the extra point. He's got it, and they're back within a touchdown at 28-21. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Check.
To throw is Cousins. His throw incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Cousins now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. To the air again. It's Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Elliott. Tackle made by Emerson Griffin.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the 1st half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Play fake. Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. The sack by Robert Quinn.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Running the jet sweep. This is Thielen with it. And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing. Prescott looking for Cooper. That's complete. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Play action now. Prescott in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack. You think back to last year, Dak Prescott was sacked 56 times, second most in the league behind Deshaun Watson of the Texans. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 yards on the play, first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
That's right, baby. They don't want slam.
They run again on first down. Cook trying to run inside, but nothing there. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did, and remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
On second down now, it's Cook, and he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
First down throw for Cousins. He's got it. And he's brought down. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run for it with Cook. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Last year, Dak Prescott had 3 fourth-quarter comebacks, and he's in search of another one right now. Prescott on first down, and an alley to run. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Check. Watch 54. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D. Tighten up.
First down, Prescott. Completes it to Jason Witten.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Prescott to throw it. Incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll throw again. Prescott. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Here's Prescott. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Here's Prescott. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. A 1-yard touchdown pass as his guys are back within a single score. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run. So much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Marr on for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Things sure were looking good for them at the half. Heck, off the air, you and I were just saying they might run away with this thing and cruise to a victory. Not anymore.
Yeah, the cruise control has to be off at this point. Now you've got to mash the gas yourself. Again, who's going to step up and make a big play for you? Who's going to take care of business now that you're being pressed? It is definitely go time for them at this moment.
All of a sudden clinging to a slim lead and hoping to hold on to that lead. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Cousins, and this is Cook with a grab. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, we're not able to find any yardage on that one.
Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Here's Cousins. Complete. Smith has it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25. And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number. I mean, you're talking about the best defenders in the world that you're trying to throw the ball against, and you're creating that type of a number. Fantastic job, fantastic performance, and he's going to have to ice up his arm afterwards, too.
Check, check, walk 54, walk 54. Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. On the ground, it's Cook. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Jeff Heath, the one to bring him down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. And after the slow start, the numbers show he has really straightened things out. How often sometimes is that you come into a game and the defense is game planned a little differently than you expected?
More often than maybe people realize. So adjustments are often a big part of each and every game. And it's not just getting to halftime. It's series to series to make it work. And being able to hang in there when there's a little adversity early and see them able to flip it around, it's kind of gratifying for a team to watch, especially for a coach.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
54. Now watch run. 26.
They go to Elliott again. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. So that a double whammy. Not only do you have to give away the football, but the 2 points, that means this is now a 2-score game.
Yeah, and that's tough to deal with, isn't it? This little time left. Those 2 points doesn't seem like a lot, but it means everything now. Those are going to be the ones we're going to look back on. Those 2 points right there, the play of the game.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. He'll return it from the 6. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Now there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 30 yards there. Well, big plays back and forth just continue. Both offenses excelling.
And I hear the excitement in your voice while you're calling this game. This hurts my soul as a defensive player, watching these teams go up and down the field and put points on the board.
Do me a favor the rest of the way. Sit back, relax, and just appreciate the offensive dominance that's going on out here.
I'll give it a shot.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Cousins. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Cousins now. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
On 1st down, it's Cook. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Again, it's Cook. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Check, watch 54. Big stop, G. Big stop, let's go.
Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They run it again with Cook. It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Bailey's kick is good, and that will give them a 12-point lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So Dak and the Cowboys down by 12. A minute 47 on the clock. Field goals useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
Oh, Prescott stripped. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Fourth down, Prescott. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. Cooper was the target there. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
The Vikings now heading onto the field. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Mike, hey, man, watch the boot,
Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here.
It's a loss of a yard, and it's third down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long.
Let's see what you got.
Cousins just going to take this one down to a knee and end it. Here's Britton Colquitt now, standing just about on his own goal line. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Big D.